Hi guys. I just I'm just looking at this here. I didn't realize that I never read the Constitution. A friend of mine gave me this little thing. It says it's basically the Constitution, the little book. You know, it's got all. It is the Constitution basically in a little book. But this video is going to be about kind of about the Constitution and what happened to it, and yeah, what happened to it. I guess what happened to it was the Bush administration for 8 years knocked out a lot of it. But we're seeing some crazy stuff out there about the Constitution, and I realized I'd never read it, and so I figured, it's about time. It's a good little book. You should get if you see somebody around that has one. It is the Constitution. We the people, So, I've never read it. I still haven't read it. I started to read it just now, but my attention span is not too good. And after a while, I get itchy, and then I put I forget about it. But but the bottom line is, I wanted to talk a little bit about. I understand what's in there, and basically this is it. It's about freedom. That's what the Constitution is about. Freedom. Freedom is what we all want, in our lives, and that's what the Constitution was meant to be, to keep the freedom there, and a lot of things that are happening now are scary, people. Let me tell you, especially with the banking system. Now, I wanted to read a little quote from Thomas Jefferson. He says, "If the American people ever allow private banks to control the issue of their currency, first by inflation, then by deflation, the banks and the corporations that will grow up around them will deprive the people of all their property until their children wake up homeless on the continent their fathers conquered. The issuing power should be taken from the banks and restored to the people to whom it properly belongs." Then he goes on further to say, "I believe that banking institutions are more dangerous to our liberties than standing armies." Okay, that was Thomas Jefferson, people. That was, hundreds of years ago. So, they knew what these banksters were about. They basically are the ruling elite, the Illuminaticus. But what I'm saying is they knew. That's why they came here, to get away from all that. So, you know, it all happened, it all started with the Federal Reserve Act in 1913. That's when they got a hold of us by the knot, going ads, and they said, "Oh, we got them now." And, they're going to try to take us down, and right now, there's nothing we can do about it. So, well, there's stuff we can do about it, but it's a little late now. The whole situation's already in play. It's gonna, we're gonna have to stand up and, have some sort of social revolution here to change this stuff, because right now, the presidents, the politicians, they don't control the world, or the United States, or the world. It's the banksters. Let's face it. So, if you want to do a little research on the Federal Reserve, you can see the whole concept behind it. Again, they're not part of the federal government or anything. Not that we need anything else in the federal government. We already got more federal government than we know what to do with. Jesus Christ. That's all we got is federal government. I mean, pretty soon the only job you'll be able to get is a government job. I mean, it's insane. But some of the things about the Constitution that I wanted to share with you is that, you're seeing a lot of stuff happen now. Have you heard about the state sovereignty movement? I mean, it's crazy. Google the state sovereignty movement. There's like 30 or 40 states now that are saying, "Hey, Fed goes right up there. We don't want to deal with you anymore. You can't tell us what to do." I mean, the bottom line is we're a collection of sovereign states, and we created the government, the Fed, to help us organize, but they are not to lead us. They're not our leaders. They're not our rulers, and that's what's happened. They've turned into the federal government has turned into the rulers of us. And I don't know about you, but nobody's the boss of me. Of course, except mom, when she comes home from the strip joints at night, she tells me to clean up and stuff. But, and grandma, yeah, she gets on my nerves. But nobody's other than dad is the boss of little Bobby B. You know what I'm saying? So it's crazy out there. And they're going to start doing other things, too. I heard about Obama's plan, for this whole forced servitude thing for kids 18 to 25. They get out of college or whatever. They're forced to do some sort of, governmental help, or whatever they call them. I don't know what they do, but they're supposed to help. They got to spend 3 months doing something in service for the government, whether they want to or not. They got to do it. It's sick. And then the other things these states don't want is the ability for the president to decide, when martial law is, and so if there's civil unrest in a city, in a state, the government, the state has the right to decide if martial law should be started, not the president. It's like becoming a dictatorship. The president just, oh yeah, go into that state with martial law and your soldiers. And we're starting to see that happen. So anyway, there's this big state sovereignty movement, and that's all about the Constitution and what's happening. So, I guess if you have to define me, I'm a constitutionalist. Because a constitution means freedom. I want freedom in my life. I mean, I don't know about you, but I don't want to live under. I don't want to be a slave to the masters, to the banksters. That's basically what it boils down to. And I can't. I'm not going to do it. So start looking at that too. That's very interesting right now. The whole state sovereignty movement. You're starting to see these tea parties, protests all over the country. People are protesting all the laws they're doing about gun control, trying to take our firearms away, all this kind of stuff. If somebody comes into the house and wants this little baby, I am going to go ballistic on them. You know what I'm saying? Because I've got a lot invested in this thing. I've taken out to the range quite a few times. I'm getting pretty good at it too. And if they say I can't buy ammo for this little baby, or I can't have it in my house to protect myself in case somebody comes in here, that's against my constitution, and I'm not going to let them do that. And so um, I gotta clean this thing later. Anyway, I'm not going to let them do that. So, these are our rights. We have a right to do these things, bear arms and all this stuff. And so that's what's happening in the movement right now. People are really getting a little tired. The government's a little starting to get a little bit, well, not starting to get a little bit, like they are becoming, like our masters. We have to do this, we have to do that, we can't do this. And that's not what the intention of government was. Government was supposed to help us, not to rule over us. Now keep that in mind, okay? And so I'm gonna have some more on that too. The whole state sovereignty movement. We'll get into that. I think it's pretty fascinating, and some people think there's going to be a tax revolt maybe this spring or something because nobody's got any so many people don't have jobs, and who wants to pay their taxes anyway? Sometimes it's crazy because you pay all this money in taxes, and then all of a sudden your taxes go and then they give it to the banksters. I mean, it's like it's a vicious cycle. It's insane. Oh, people, we got to do something. Like I said, I can't get out much. I get tired after about 30 minutes. It's just walking around the house, but somebody's got to do something. It's probably not going to be me, but there's people out there that listen, might think that they can get out and join the crowds and do some, peaceful protests, of course, and show the government that, what, we're not going to take it anymore. We're just not going to take it. Oh, I, it drives me crazy just thinking about it. Uh, oh well, I'll talk to you later.